I have great judgment. I have good judgment. I know what's going on. I've called so many of the shots. And I happened to hear Hillary Clinton say that I was not against the war in Iraq. I was totally against the war in Iraq.
He told Howard Stern he was in support of the war. That was very early in the campaign. And now he wants us to erase that from the history books. And when we don't, it's our fault for misrepresenting what is actually a fact.
I have looked so long and hard for any evidence.
I'll give it to you. 2004. They had newspaper articles.
Right, but the war started in 2003.
Hillary Clinton wants to abolish the Second Amendment. She wants to abolish it.
She has never said she wants to abolish the Second Amendment.
You made some very bold claims about her that didn't stand up when we put it.
Well, you don't know if they stand up. What claim are you talking about?
Well, let's talk about your claim that she was asleep during the Benghazi attack. There's no evidence that she was asleep.
It happened all during the day and during...
I saw, in parts of New Jersey, I saw people getting together and in fairly large numbers celebrating as the World Trade Center was coming down.
You know, the police say that didn't happen, and all those rumors have been on the internet for some time. So did you misspeak
It did
yesterday?
happen. I saw it. It was
you
on
saw
television.
that with your own eyes?
You're doing to Ted Cruz what you tried to do to President Obama, where he was born, his birth certificate.
Who knows about Obama?
His mother was a U.S. citizen born in Kansas. Was he a natural-born citizen?
Who knows? Who knows? Who cares right now?
The whole thing is very strange.
He finally acknowledged he's got a brand new position, that he now does, in fact, believe that the President of the United States, Barack Obama, was indeed born in the United States.
So you tell me, who's better for the gay community and who's better for women than Donald Trump? Believe me.
The charade that Donald Trump somehow is a huge supporter of LGBT rights. He said it again and again and again. This is a guy who has said fundamentally that he wants to overturn the single biggest civil rights decision ever in the history of the LGBT movement.
I mean, look at who he picked as his VP. Governor Pence is no friend to the LGBT community. Well, he doesn't want to have transgender bathrooms. He believes in funding conversion therapy, which to that community is one of the most insidious and dangerous things there is.
And I'm afraid the election's going to be rigged. I have to be honest.
People are going to walk in, they're going to vote 10 times maybe. Who knows?
How many cases of voter fraud, true voter fraud, did you find in what period of time?
31 allegations, and these are only allegations, of vote fraud between 2000 and 2014. 31 out of 1 billion votes cast.
We have no idea who the people are. They have no papers. They have no paperwork. You can get forged documents very easily in Syria.
The administration says that each refugee goes through extensive background checks by multiple agencies. In fact, David, they say that process takes 18 to 24 months before a refugee can set foot in the United States.
They're bringing drugs. They're bringing crime. They're rapists.
The last time I checked, 2 studies. One from the American Immigration Council says that immigrants are less likely to be criminals than those born in the United States. And the Immigration Policy Center said the following: immigrants as a whole have lower crime rates than the native-born population.
You also made the claim that her personal email server had been hacked, suggesting that as
you
president...
don't know that it hasn't
been. Wait a minute, suggesting that she would be compromised as president. What evidence do you have? Is there any evidence that it was hacked other than routine phishing attacks?
I read that and I heard it, and somebody that also gave me that information. I will report back to you. I'll give it to you.
But you said it with such certainty yesterday.
I don't know if certainty.
Let's talk about Donald Trump's tax records.
I am under audit now, and as soon as the audit ends, I'll release my return. Almost every lawyer will tell you the same thing. When you're under audit, you finish the audit before you release. I have no problem. And it should be, and I hope it's before the election.
But the IRS has said that he can release it. They will not punish him. Lots of tax attorneys have said he can release it. He will not be punished.
How about this, the unemployment rate?
Don't believe those phony numbers when you hear 4.9 and 5% unemployment. The number's probably 28, 29, as high as 35. In fact, I even heard recently 42%.
He's heard people say that it's 40%. It's not 40%. The unemployment rate is 4.9%. The unemployment rate measures people who have a job or are looking for a job. What he's talking about are all the people who aren't looking. And there are a lot of reasons, Chris, why people aren't looking. My grandma's not looking for a job because she's 88.
We can provide 6 weeks of paid maternity leave to any mother with a newborn child whose employer does not provide the benefit.
It's not a maternity leave policy that should be called paid maternity leave. It's not based on what your income was. In many states, the maximum is going to be a little over $1,000 a month. And second, who pays for it are the newly unemployed. He's taking the money out of unemployment insurance and diverting it to the maternity leave. It absolutely makes no sense.
Pay the Clinton Foundation huge sums of money and throw in some big speaking fees for Bill Clinton, and you got to play. You got to do what you wanted to do.
He has no evidence that shows that money given by donors to the Clinton Foundation then resulted in actions by the State Department that favored those donors.
It should be noted that Donald Trump and Ivanka Trump both donated to the Clinton Foundation themselves.
Ford has announced just yesterday that they're moving their small car production facilities to Mexico. To think that Ford is moving its small car division is a disgrace.
He seemed to indicate that those jobs would be leaving the United States for Mexico. Ford put out a statement and said, nuh-uh, yes, we are opening a plant in Mexico, but that plant in Wayne, Michigan that was making these cars is just going to start making other cars. Ford says not a single job will be lost there.
West Virginia, and we're going to get those miners back to work. I'll tell you what, we're going to get those miners back to work.
He's talked about coal miners bringing their jobs back. The reality, according to experts, though, is that many of those jobs just aren't functional in a modern economy.
Mexico will pay for the wall.
There is no way that Mexico can pay a wall like that. I'm not going to pay for that fucking wall.